wondering if the Lovevery Montessori Playshelf is worth it? In this review, I'll walk you through the cost versus competitors, key features, as well as my personal likes and dislikes after having the shelf for about a month now with 2 kids to help you figure out whether or not it makes the most sense for your family. If you guys are new here, my name is Rachel from The Confused Mom. Welcome to my channel. I share baby and toddler product reviews, activities, as well as Montessori at home tips. Make sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss future videos. So in case you missed it, in 2021, Lovevery released the ultimate Montessori Playshelf and it quickly sold out. It's even on back order now until January 2022. So if it is something you decide that you want, I would highly suggest getting on that wait list ASAP. I think the first thing that most people noticed was obviously that it was gorgeous, but then quickly they realized the price tag, and the cost of this Playshelf is $400. On top of that, when I was reading through the comments of their announcement Instagram post of this, a lot of the people were upset to find out that you have to pay $25 in shipping and $75 in shipping if you're in Canada, Hawaii, or Alaska. Is it a bummer to pay for shipping when you're spending $400? Absolutely. But I also get it. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that it literally weighs like 100 pounds when you get this thing delivered. With that said though, despite how heavy the actual package is and how heavy the shelf is, it is very easy to shift around the room once assembled. Truthfully, I think it's kind of fair, especially when you factor in the carbon neutral shipping, the cost compared to competitors, as well as the overall quality of the product itself. First, let's talk about what the heck carbon neutral shipping even is. Very in line with what Dr. Montessori herself wanted, Lovevery is committed to taking care of our planet. And they also really pride themselves on being a brand that parents can be proud to introduce to their children. In November 2020, they joined the Climate Collaborative to help scale solutions to reverse the impacts of climate change. In April of 2021, they became members of the SME Climate Hub and pledged to reduce their emissions, achieve net zero emissions, and disclose their progress annually. And then on top of that, in July of 2021, they became one of over 1,500 companies to join the net zero by 2030 commitment. All right, so let's get into the key features. It is a 2-in-1 shelf with hidden storage back here, which is so critical. We live in an older home with very small closets. We are always looking for really smart storage solutions, and they hit the nail on the head here. It can fit up to 6 Lovevery play kits, and of course it obviously works with other toys. As I was editing this, I realized I forgot to talk about one thing, which was my biggest concern about this shelf before getting it, and that was the fact that the storage does not lock, and whether or not my toddler would open it up and just pull out all of the toys inside. The reason I forgot to talk about it is because it has not happened. Obviously, I do think there's going to be some toddlers that maybe open it up and start pulling out all their toys. However, from what I can tell with my daughter so far, and I'll update this in the comments if this changes, and if you have a different experience with this shelf, I'd love to hear it in the comments too, is that it's kind of like the Montessori concept of when there's too much stuff in a playroom, nothing gets played with. So when she opens up that back storage section and she just sees everything kind of cluttered, she kind of just closes it and isn't interested in it. The other thing I do, which I think limits how much she goes back there, is I put a lot of activities that do take up both full panels of the top part of the shelf. So it's not easy for her to open it. Now with that said too, Lovevery has those bins that sit in that top section, meaning that if she does take anything out, she only ever takes it from those bins. She never actually takes the full bin out and goes into the deeper part of this. If you've been doing Montessori from the start, I don't know that it will be an issue based solely on my experience so far. The next key feature is the Montessori inspired design, which really focuses on limited choices. It's made from 100% FSC harvested Baltic birch plywood, and it also comes with 2 activity trays as well as 2 storage bins. When you get your package delivered, it comes with obviously all the hardware that you would need to assemble it like any other furniture, but the thing that they also do is they actually include the tools. Or now with that said, I did use my power drill for the most part, but I did need a screwdriver, and theirs was actually really good. It was better than any of the screwdrivers we owned. Thumbs up for that. You literally do not need any tools other than what comes with it. And of course, like any other piece of furniture, it comes with written instructions, but they take it a step further by using an app called Built, which actually will verbally walk you through all the instructions. And what's really nice is it will allow you to zoom in on any of the designs so you can see exactly how to line certain things up. This is especially helpful because when you assemble it, it does use something called a cam lock. And if you've never worked with cam locks before, they have a little bit of a learning curve. curve. They are easy to fix if you put them in wrong, but essentially you have to put these locks in, and you need this opening to point in a very specific direction, because when you add a cam dowel, it needs to be able to slide into that lock feature, and then you'll use a screwdriver to twist it and lock it into place. Being able to zoom in on those schematics, making sure that you are putting them facing in the right direction is super helpful. If you put them in the wrong direction, it's not the end of the world. You just got to get in there with a screwdriver and kind of twist it the right way. But aside from like all of those key features, the thing that I really like are the safety features. Back storage cabinet comes with a soft close hinge, so you don't have to worry about your little one's fingers getting smushed. The other thing I love is it comes with a toe kick at the bottom, so no toys or pudgy little baby arms can get underneath there, which is really nice because my son, he's obsessed with playing with obviously his toys on that bottom shelf. It is designed for a baby who cannot sit up on their own or stand up on their own yet to be able to access their items independently as Montessori would want. And the other nice little kind of feature that they have is this top shelf here has little lips on the side to prevent things from sliding off. All those little small details I think come together to make it an experience that really is worth $400. It's super well thought out. And another nice little feature is that before you purchase it, you can actually go to the page for the Montessori shelf, click this button here, and a new window will open up in your browser, so you don't need to download any third-party app, and it will allow you to place the Montessori shelf in your home for an augmented reality experience to make sure that you actually like it before buying. Beyond that, the specs of it are 41 inches long, 23 inches high, and 20.5 inches deep, while the front open part of the shelf is 9.5 inches deep and can fit a standard sheet of paper. It leads me to my biggest disappointment, which is the activity trays. Now these are beautiful, they're super well made, and they obviously fit within the shelf. However, they're both the same size, and it is my hope that they leave one this size and then make it one that is slightly larger and will fit a standard sheet of paper. For us personally, some of the Montessori at home activities we do use worksheets with 3D hands-on learning materials, and it's really nice to be able to set those out together on a tray. It is a little bit frustrating that the activity tray itself, it does not fit a standard sheet of paper, even though the actual opening of the shelf is large enough. I've kind of come up with a workaround. I turn it like this, where the sheet of paper is just kind of resting up a little bit, which is nice because then my child can go ahead and see what's out on her shelf a little bit easier. The other option I do is I use the top part of the shelf with an even larger sensory tray, like I have here with these Play-Doh mat. And then the last option is to use more of kind of like a standing cup holder situation. And that is truly my biggest disappointment, just a really small detail of swapping out one of the activity trays so that you have a large one and a small one. As far as the ease of building, I touched on it a little bit before, but I want to go into it just a touch more. This is honestly probably the easiest piece of furniture I have ever built of its complexity, and I'm not exaggerating. The written instructions are fantastic. Like I mentioned before, they also have partnered with the Built app so that you can get audio instructions and zoom into any of those schematics to see which way to place certain things. The part that I wanted to touch on is that they say it takes about an hour to build with 2 people. I found that I was able to build the entire thing myself until I got to adding the top storage lid, at which point I did have to call my husband to hold that in place while I screwed that in with a screwdriver, and it did take about an hour, even with me pretty much constructing it all on my own. Their estimates are right on. Okay, so now of course the thing that you guys probably want to know the most about is the competitors. So of course you can buy a play shelf, a Montessori aligned play shelf at literally every single price point and size out there. We've all seen the cube shelves and things like that. However, there was only one Montessori aligned shelf that I could find that also had hidden storage, and that was on Etsy. There are 3 major differences between the two. First is that the Etsy one comes in 2 different sizes, whereas the Lovevery one only comes in 1. So they both come at 41 inches long. However, the Etsy one also offers a 31-inch long option. The next major difference is going to be the design. So the Etsy one uses a slotted finger joint design where you can actually see all of the wooden board pieces from the outside looking in, whereas Lovevery's, everything is smooth and kind of enclosed and protected, and it's super sleek. The Etsy one also does not feature some of my favorites about the Lovevery one, which include the toe kick at the bottom, the edging at the top to prevent things from sliding off, and the soft closed hinge of the storage compartment compartment. Instead, their storage compartment is just a piece of wood that you take on and off. And with a toddler and a baby around, I personally don't feel the safest with a piece of wood just being floated around the room. And lastly, the Etsy one does not come with activity trays or storage bins like Lovevery's. You may have noticed I did not say price was one of the big differentiators. That's right. The Etsy one, the 41-inch length one, comes in at $399.95. That is a 5-cent difference in price. Now, with that said, the Etsy one does ship free in the contiguous US, but just like Lovevery, it costs $75 to ship to Canada, Alaska, or Hawaii. So price is gonna kind of cancel itself out. With that said too, the Etsy one does seem to have a pretty consistent, always running 10% off sale going on. But again, you're not getting the 2 activity trays or storage bins, and those storage bins really do help maximize the capacity of the back storage panels. Both brands use a Baltic birch wood for the shelf. However, Lovevery's is 100% FSC certified, and I don't know what the deal is with the Etsy one on that as far as sustainability goes. And the last little part of this comparison between the Lovevery and Etsy one is going to be the return policy and warranty. Lovevery does not accept returns on their Montessori play shelf. However, they do offer a 2-year limited warranty. I totally get why they're not taking returns on this. If it was my business, I wouldn't take returns on it either. Literally weighs 90 pounds to ship back and forth. So from a sustainability perspective, it's not in alignment with their company values or mission. Aside from that, they literally give you the opportunity to use augmented reality to place the shelf in your space to make sure it's something you really want. And if there are any defects with your shelf, it is covered by a 2-year limited warranty. And then for the Etsy one, they did not have any information about return policy or warranty on their listing. I do think the Montessori play shelf from Lovevery is worth it. The price is justified when you look at competitors. It comes with accessories. As someone who lives in an old home with very small limited closet space, smart storage solutions are so valuable to us, and this is by far the best one I have come across. While it is deep, the compact size makes it work for just about anywhere in the room, and thanks to its timeless design, once you stop using it as a play shelf, it could work in various other places of the home. Like if you have an awkward half wall somewhere, in a child's room, like at the foot of the bed to display certain items while also giving them a little more storage for things. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is this something that you would consider adding to your home? If not, why? I'd love to know. Drop me some comments below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And in the meantime, check out my past Lovevery play kit reviews. Check out my Montessori at home tips. And until next time, my name's Rachel. Have a good one.